Let's go! So, Commanders fans, yeah, it was tough. And I should have listened to more of you after the clunky game versus the New York Giants. That this was kind of rough these opening few weeks, the Washington offense. There is a pretty big positive that we'll get to in the end, but the truth is, all night long, it was a Micah Parsons show. He just cooked us. And honestly, it forced Jayden to just hit check down after check down after check down. So, third and cherry blossom here, and my goodness gracious. When you're behind the sticks and you could just dominate with four-man rushes, you just kind of wave the white flag. Jalen Lane, can he be a bigger part of this offense? Obviously, he is very explosive, but essentially, you punt. Yeah, it's pretty clear the Packers are the best team in the NFC, maybe only behind the Eagles. And you could see here, once again, it's the Micah Parsons show. Swim move to the inside of the right tackle. And obviously, Austin Eckler doesn't stand much of a chance. And there's all kinds of rush right here. But because Jayden is an absolute freak, he is still able to get this ball in to scary Terry McLaurin. Third and 9. And once again, if you have Micah Parsons, especially versus Jayden Daniels, you want to just play very soft coverage. And honestly, just have zone defenders ready to pick up Jayden if he does indeed scramble. So this looks like quarters, but what happens at the snap is this safety flies in, and this becomes the new center field defender. This is pretty common in modern NFL. You play split field, and then at the snap, one guy floats in and the other guy goes backwards. And you can see this pocket this time is really, really, really good. I mean, Tyler Biadasz just dominating Micah this time around. Actually, that's Micah, but still, you get a good throw right here by Jayden. I mean, you can't really do it much better than this. You can see Noah Brown doesn't do a good enough job getting this ball into his body, and 25 is able to come in and strip it. Now, the Commanders did punt there. Should they have gone for it that deep into Packers territory? I don't know, on a fourth and whatever it was, 9. I'm okay with the punt there, but you could see on this deep over by Terry McLaurin on the rollout, this is ridiculously difficult stuff right here by Jayden Daniels. Look at what he's having to do here with this rusher right in his face. He is having to fend off one hand and float this football into the space of where Terry is running. Boom. That's a ridiculous piece of wide receiver play with it being behind him, and you're able to pick up a nice first down. One of the more common concepts, a little stick here from the receiver. Some call this spacing, if you will. The football coaches out there, feel free to correct me if I'm wrong. And this, honestly, the best quarterbacks, Mahomes, they're really good at this. If you were to look at this right here, you would think Jayden is throwing the football right to a defender, but he knows this defender's momentum is taking him to the flat right here, so you can go ahead and throw this, because if you wait till he's wide open, this DB is driving down and making this play. So that shows you that Jayden is seeing the game fine. It's not the hardest read in the world, but he picks up a nice stroke here to Noah Brown, who does a really good job falling forward here. Man, Micah Parsons, it's the same thing over and over. First off, I want you to see here, when you're going up against an elite rusher, you always got to be careful, switching up your snap counts, hard counting maybe a little bit more. Because look at this jump that Micah Parsons gets off the ball. I mean, he is already moving as it is being snapped. Look at how much quicker he is than everybody else firing off here. Beat 72 to the inside again. Alec Grady comes over to help. Doesn't matter. Parsons then knocks over Austin Eckler. And Jayden, I mean, you can't survive in a pocket like this. So he just steps up. And most quarterbacks here are getting brought down. Jayden's speed, obviously, is just so elite that he's able to run around a defensive back here for a 9-yard gain. So this is just a very special quarterback making a really nice play here. 3rd and 4, Rashawn Gary and Micah Parsons. It's just too good. It's just way too good. Once again, these jumps off the ball were really, really, really good for the Packers. And one thing I would do is switch things up, right? I would mix in some more hard counts because that really helps out your pass rush. This honestly is a good reset right here by Laramie Tunsil. Not many big human beings could do something like that. for Parsons' side of it, he could have done a better job swiping down this arm to get off of him. But man, that's a good job right there by Laramie. You get to the top of this protection here. The three tech defensive end or defensive tackle knows he has a one-on-one here, especially with Parsons being across from him. So he beats Allegretti to the inside here, and there's a lot of rush coming through both A gaps essentially with the Parsons here and 94 here. So Jayden elects to roll out to the left, doesn't like it, and the reason why he doesn't like it is because, well, the Commanders are running mesh, okay? So there's a route to the right, there's this route, the vertical, and then you have Austin Eckler running up to the right side. So Jayden rolls out to the left and doesn't like what he sees. I don't blame him. He then just throws this up to Austin Eckler, which is dangerous. But who knows? You might get a pass interference. Nothing else was open. Take the one-on-one here. And Eckler honestly does a really good job just playing DB here to bat it away. Best pass pro rep of the night here on 3rd and 6, which against this pass rush is like 3rd and Silver Spring. But here we go. Jayden back in the pocket, and you have a delay here from the QB spy, and some call it a green dog. Jayden just sticks in this pocket and throws the in-breaker to Zach Ertz. Man, you wish you could have kept his feet, but still, it's good enough for a first down. 3rd and 3, and once again, it's the inside move by Micah Parsons. It's a little shocking that once Jayden was facing this many inside moves from Parsons, he didn't just roll out and force him to pay for not keeping contained. Sometimes you can't do it because he breaks it so easy and he is fast enough at a certain angle to run Jayden down. But I am a little shocked here. I am more in favor of quarterbacks more often than not stepping up into pockets. But in this instance, if he's still beating the right tackle to the inside, we want to break that contain if we can. So still, once again, this protection is just not good at all. There's a flag on the play anyway, and you are in a very difficult field goal range, right? So another thing about this is we don't want to take the sack because it does make it a more difficult field goal, and a field goal obviously cuts this to a one-possession game. Okay, sometimes the other team just plays a better game than you do. And this honestly is a really nasty pressure. So you can see pre-snap that this backer is on the opposite side A gap. He actually blitzes around here. And Jayden is actually responsible for this blitzer. This is really hard for an offensive line to sort out. So even though he is free, I really don't know if that can be any offensive lineman's true responsibility. So Jayden throws the comeback route here to Terry McLaurin, and it's just not a good throw. Okay, Jayden and Terry are going to connect on this more often than not, and well, it is just too far low and away. If you put it on Terry, he's probably making that catch. That's a specialty of his, but it's incomplete and you got to punt. But honestly, this isn't terrible protection. You're running a lot of deep stuff into deep zones. If you're Jayden, do you just take this check down right here? Maybe so. Once again, there's just a lot of rush with Rashawn Gary, and this is just near impossible to get out of. I do think if you're Jayden, you've got to try to avoid this sack right here. And one thing I will say about Jayden is even though he has really, really deep drops, at LSU in this first season there, he took a lot of sacks, but they're only 1 or 2 yard sacks. But this is a really bad Geno Smith level sack. So we do not want that to happen. Because Jayden is the best quarterback in the NFC, he's always going to dig you out of a hole more often than not. So we get some really good protection here. Jayden finds Zach Ertz, who overall had a really, really good night. Zach Ertz just boxes out the defender, and there you go. Now, when we get the All-22, we'll be able to see if some of these deeper options were there. Okay? These are more difficult throws, but Jayden goes to Zach there. So 3rd and 9 here, and Jayden once again gets it done. This is some really good quarterback play and even better wide receiver play right here by Jayden. Once again, a lot of pressure from Parsons, but Jayden puts it right on Terry. He turns upfield and is able to pick up the first down. So, Commanders fans, I'm proud to announce our new membership program, some bonus film studies, which includes our breakdown of the touchdown in this game. It was actually a play that Cliff Kingsbury stole. He is a thief. Somebody go arrest him. Plays get stolen all the time from other playbooks. So if you want to see a very intricate breakdown of a play I think the Commanders are going to continue to run, the link to that breakdown is down below. So, yes, we'll talk a little bit about this game. The Commanders really just couldn't get explosive in this game at all. Their long completion was a 20-yarder to Zach Ertz, which, of course, was the tutty. But, man, outside of that, that 14-yarder you just saw to Terry McLaurin was the longest reception in this game. This was Jayden's lowest QBR, I believe, since Thursday Night Football of last year, where the Eagles basically did the same thing. They were at home, and their pass rush just dominated the game. So, Jayden played his best towards the end of the year. So far, it's not been a pretty year for JD5. But, on this 3rd and 10, they're obviously giving you this kind of sort of. But if there is one positive that we kind of teased towards the beginning of this video, it's that Deebo Samuel looks really good, right? 7 catches, 44 yards, and a touchdown for him with a long of 12. That's his job, to be the slot underneath option. But these deep balls to Terry need to start cooking. Obviously, the Noah Brown drop early was big. Dawson Eckler injury is also big. The long run from a running back in this game was 5 yards, which is not good. Krosky, 4 for 17. Austin Eckler, 8 for 17. So it was just a lot of this. Protection just disintegrating. And Jayden obviously just having to basically just throw balls up. And that is never really a fun proposition. Now, this one does get completed to Luke McCaffrey down the field. Maybe Luke can step up. Maybe it's Jalen Lane who becomes a deep option. I don't know. So we get to this touchdown. It's a really good job by Jayden. Packers have one more than the Commanders can pick up. So you got to play quick. Jayden is what offensive coordinators like to call hot. And he finds Deebo over the middle. It's a really good throw, but honestly, it's just Deebo playing at an extremely high level right now. Add on the 2-pointer here, and man, this is just really, really, really sexy stuff right here by Jayden. A lot of pressure off the edge. Jayden's going to step up and make a miss, and guess what? He sidearm deliveries this to Luke McCaffrey for the 2-pointer. Tough night all around, so do you think Washington is able to turn it around? I do think they still comfortably make the playoffs. It would be very nice to win the NFC East. That obviously is still in front of them. We'll see what the Chiefs can do versus the Eagles. Let me know what you guys think down below, and we'll talk to you soon. It is Power Hour NFL. Boom! Saturday night, Jayden's going to bounce back. We know he will. Tonight, we are doing tilapia. Let's go.